Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I don't know why I'm even dancing because I didn't look forward to filming today's video. Okay, I've been dodging it, mostly because of the kind of news that I have to give to you guys today, which is no longer news at this point, I know, but I haven't done a what's new episode in a while. Like, sometimes life just happens, so much news has come and gone and has passed me by, and you know, it just didn't make sense bringing news to you like a week/2 weeks after the news broke. Does that make sense? Anyway, today's video, I'm going to just be dissecting one or two things that have been in the headlines in the last couple of days, mostly very unpalatable and sad and tragic news. Yeah, and all of that. But anyway, if you're excited about today's episode of What's New with Alma, then stick around. You don't want to miss this. Okay, let us get right into this. A couple of days ago, I don't think it's up to a week yet, or at this point, this video is going up on a Tuesday. So a week ago, news broke on social media that popular Big Brother Naija housemates, popular Big Brother Naija ex-housemate, actor, musician RICO was involved in a car accident, a ghastly car accident, and this news broke on social media. It was Alex Unusual, Alex Asogwa, who broke the news. And I don't forget when I lifted my phone and I saw that news and I said to myself, oh my God, please Lord Jesus, please let this not end in tragedy. Please let this boy get better, let him respond to treatment, let him come out of this, let this be a testimony, you know. And I almost would like to say that he was one of my favorite Big Brother Naija ex-housemates because acting a role in Tinsel. I used to watch Tinsel and African Magic for like years and years and years. I used to watch it, and then I even made my mom begin to watch Tinsel. Now I have actually stopped watching that program for about 2-3 years now, or even more, but my mom still watches it religiously. Okay, so I think he came on either before he went to Big Brother. Yeah, I think it was before. Yes, before he went to Big Brother. Yes, he started acting in Tinsel. I took a liking to him, you know, young guy, cute guy, you know, amazing actor and everything. And then afterwards he went on Big Brother, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the guy from Tinsel on Big Brother. So, you know, I would like to say that I kind of, not like I knew him personally, but compared to a lot of celebrities that I don't really care for that way, and I was really rooting for him. I was really rooting for him when he was in Big Brother. He was on the same season that had Cece, Toby, Alex. It was very obvious that he was well liked because he never really had any fights in the house with anybody. I think he only got angry in that house once, and the reason he got angry was because they were wasting food. That was the kind of person he is. He had a very big heart, right? And then he came out from Big Brother. He went back to acting on Tinsel, did a few things here and there. And you know, I was following him on Instagram. I was just keeping track with him, as with every Big Brother year that goes by. My favorite housemates, I follow them on Instagram. I keep track on them, know what they're doing now and all of that. So imagine when I saw this news, I was very heartbroken. I'm just like, oh my God, what could have happened? And then we began to see videos go around online. We began to see videos of the accident scene, you know, how he was being managed, how he was pulled out of the wreckage, and how he was being kept in an upright position even at the accident scene, which I don't think made any sense. But what I would think is that somebody who was an accident victim, the one thing you want to do is to lay them flat on the ground first before any other thing, just in case they have internal injuries, right? Then we saw a video of the first hospital that he was rushed to, and then videos started circulating online. You know, he was still kept in that upright position. He was being given oxygen. You could see that he was breathing in the video, and you know, people were videoing, whether it was the nurses, because the hospital has actually come out to say that it wasn't the nurses that were videoing, it was his friends, which does not make any sense to me. Long story short, 2 days after, I was actually grabbing my car keys to head out the door. Nights before, I remember I had said a prayer for this boy. I'm like, God, please save this boy's life, you know. I literally said a prayer for him the night before because I was really concerned, especially because the updates that we're getting on Twitter and Instagram were not good. You know, they were beginning to ask for donations, you know, for his life support. He was being placed on life support. He was taken to a different hospital and placed on life support. There was a picture that was taken and put on the internet. He wasn't looking good at all. He was looking very unresponsive. So I was really praying that this boy would make it, you know. And then I wake up the following morning, I grab my keys to head out. I had a meeting and my husband tells me Rico didn't make it. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? I literally didn't know when I flung my keys, and I just broke down because I had hope that he would make it. And it was just very heartbreaking because, see guys, I've not been able, I wanted to do this video ever since, so I've not been able to do this video. Like, you would think I've met him before, you would think I know him personally, but it hits me so bad because he's so young. He was so young, so full of life. Heck, he was at Fina's winners party just on Sunday, and this thing happened on Tuesday and he passed on a Thursday. At that point, I'm just like, nothing makes sense anymore. Why are we all struggling? Why is this life so, why are we on a daily hustle struggling? This boy, it pained me, and I didn't believe it until I opened social media and I started to see the tributes. It was very heartbreaking and very painful for me. Can't even begin to imagine those who know him personally, you know, those who were in Big Brother with him, his colleagues in the movie industry, his friends, his family. I don't even want to imagine what they are going through, because even me that never met him, it hurts like hell. At every point in time throughout that day, I would try to forget and distract myself, but you know, once I remember, I have his face in my head, his voice, because I watched Sensol a lot, so I knew what his voice sounded like, you know. I would have his voice in my head, I would have his face in my head. I'm just like, oh my God, so this boy just lying down cold in a mortuary right now. It made no sense. And then obviously we began to see videos begin to circulate, you know, how he was treated in the first place that he was taken to, and a lot of stuff. And it just boils down to the fact that at the end of the day, I feel like Nigeria failed this boy because, you know, I feel like if this thing happened abroad, the response time would have been quicker. I mean, in this case, the response time was ridiculous. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous, you guys. The time that was being wasted while this boy was bleeding internally. You know, you could even see in the video where he was being placed on oxygen in the first place he went to, you could see he was still bleeding from his ears, his nose, his mouth. You know, it was a clear case of head trauma and who knows what else. And I just feel like the response time was so slow, and if this thing happened in a more developed society, this boy may have survived this. So it was really, really painful, and it took me days, guys. It took me days. It took me days to just try and move on, you know. I don't forget even breaking this news to my mom, and she was so emotional because she watches him on Tinsel every day, even up till now, you know. So guys, what can I say? We hear that the Lagos state government is going to probe the first hospital that he was taken to because of the video that was circulating about people laughing and videoing and stuff. We are not sure how that is going to go. This is Nigeria. We are not sure if it will ever be done. We are not sure what will come out of it. We are not sure, but we wait. Up until now, there hasn't been any news about funeral arrangements or anything like that just yet. The family is definitely grieving a very big loss, so I can only imagine. And all I can say now is that I hope and pray that Rico Suave, Patrick Fakoya's soul rests in peace. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then still on tragic news, I told you guys that today's episode is not a very still on tragic news. We were also hit with the news a few days ago as well, just after Rico died. I think it was a day or two after his death, that popular businessman Ikechukwu Ogbonna, aka IVD, and his wife got into a scuffle in their home, which resulted in her being burnt. And at the time that news broke, she was still alive, receiving treatment in a hospital. Now, if you don't know who these people are, I didn't even know who they were until about 3 years ago, when his wife Bimbo came out on social media to say that she had been suffering domestic violence for years in his hands. You know, there was a lot of evidence that she brought out, photos, videos, and all of that. And I think at the time, if I'm not mistaken, at the time she left the marriage, right? She left the marriage, you know, I think she left the house, brought out all of this evidence against this guy. He's a very popular auto dealer in Lagos. You know, a lot of Nigerians sympathize with her. A lot of people applauded her for leaving the marriage or for choosing herself. Apparently they had 5 kids, a lot, you know. But not long after she came out to do this, not long after it was news that they had reconciled, and Nigerians were like, oh, you came out on social media to cry foul, to cry that this man has treated you like trash for years, this man beats you, this man does this to you, this, that, and you go back to him, you know. But obviously, like, when that happens in Nigeria, they'll tell you, leave married people, they know how they handle their wahala. But it was clear from the onset that this was a very toxic marriage, okay, a very highly toxic and highly abusive marriage. Now, we didn't really hear much after that reconciliation, but this news broke a couple of days ago that they were involved in a scuffle. This man and his wife were involved in a scuffle that resulted in her getting burnt. Now, from all of the news that has been going around on social media, everything that has been brought out, you know, even before she passed, you know, they said that they were involved in a scuffle and she set the house on fire. Some sources said that she set herself on fire with the children inside the house. And it just made me wonder what could have pushed a woman to that point mentally to set herself on fire, to want to die, or to set the house on fire with her children in it. It just screams abuse of the highest order, like abuse to the point that nothing else in this world matters to you. Then they brought out screenshots of her Insta stories that she had put out some days ago, saying that her mental state was in jeopardy, calling on some people, some Nigerians or some agencies to come and take her children away from her, that because she fears that her mental health is not, you know. It just still boils down to the fact that, guys, marriage is not by force. You see marriage, you see this thing called marriage, it is not by force. I am of the opinion that if a man raises his hand to hit you once and you stay, he will hit you again and again until you finally get the strength to leave, or he puts you 6 feet down below. That's my opinion. There's no remedy for it. It's either you leave or you stay inside this and suffer it until you die. With this case, you know, after the news broke that she did not survive her burns, it was now a case of IVD killed her, IVD killed her. Her sister went on social media crying, IVD killed her. Her brother came out to grant interviews with Daddy Freeze and opened a whole can of worms about the whole matter. And IVD himself, after some silence, came out to bring out videos, and in the videos you could hear her saying he was a ritualist, he was HIV positive. And I'm just like, what kind of marriage was this? Marriage that you knew well. In my opinion, when a couple is fighting and they throw jabs at each other, it is most likely the truth. So her saying that the guy is a ritualist, the guy is HIV positive, the guy is a drug addict, clearly I can't, to be honest, I feel like that's the truth. But then again, what are you doing in a marriage with a man that has all of these vices? What are you doing with a man who is a ritualist? What are you doing with a man who, you know, is a drug addict? It doesn't make any sense to me. Then her brother went ahead to bring out videos of, you know, him using needles, taking up drugs into his system via needles. You know, he came out to say that she should carry things for him. You know, his source of wealth was not clean, you know, just to make him happy. She loved him so much. And I'm just like, wow, that can't be me though. Because I've heard people say that, oh my God, you don't really know until, you know, you are the abused one. I hear people say that, oh my God, when you are in an abusive marriage or a relationship, you don't see anything else outside that marriage. Nothing else makes sense to you. Which made me even ask, what has her family been doing all this while? She has parents, she has siblings. Why have they watched her go through this for 22 years and 5 children after? According to her brother, they have done all they could. They tried to bring her out of her marriage countless times. And this thing even began from when she was 18 years old. You know, she fell in love with this guy, even gave him her school fees there, dropped out of school, gave him her school fees that time. It was clear that she was head over heels in love with this guy and nothing else mattered, and they tried all they could. So guys, this issue, this IVD Bimbo issue passed my power, because I'm just like, how did it get to this point? How did it get to the point where, you know, at every given time they quarrel, she destroys things? Because IVD was showing videos of, you know, once they quarrel, she destroys things, you know, she destroys cars, she destroys properties, she destroys his, you know, stuff like that. So in my head, I feel like this was not a one-sided abusive marriage. I feel like definitely it started as an abusive marriage solely on his part being the abuser. But I feel like as time went on, because of how much abuse that she endured in that marriage, she also turned abusive, okay? So she would lash out at him, you know, maybe properties, destroying things, and even in this case now, setting the house on fire or setting herself on fire. I'm not sure which one eventually is the truth. It just goes to show how abused that woman was and how, you guys, now she's gone. IVD is on the run. Well, as at 2 days ago, he was still on the run. As at yesterday, they announced on Twitter, the police, Nigerian police handle announced that he's in custody. 5 children that are now left behind for who to now take care of. Women, please, this is a lesson to all of us, okay? Leave. God, easier said than done, I know, but find the strength to leave a marriage that is toxic, is abusive, because it never ends well. It never ends well. There's been so much news, there's been so much tragic news of women who have lost their lives to abusive marriages. You have the power in your hands. The time of, oh, I'm staying because of my children, that time has passed. Take your children and leave. Be alive for your children. Now she's gone. She had a chance to leave 3 years ago when she actually did leave, but then came back, reconciled with him, and then came back. If only she had found the strength to stay away from him, by now she probably would have still been alive and done something else with her life. But here we are. Here we are. So now that we have gotten the tragic news out of the way, let's get into something a little bit more hilarious. So recently, popular Nigerian producer Don Jazzy buried his mom in grand style. He lost his mom a few months ago, I think, or a few weeks ago. I'm not even sure at this point. He buried his mom in grand Owambe Lagos style, and all of the celebrities who are celebrities came out in full force for him. I hear that all of the ashwebi that was won for that ceremony was not paid for. I hear he gave out the fabrics to all of his celebrity friends for free. Nobody paid for ashwebi, which is amazing, Don Jazzy. Well done, well done. But guys, may I just add that what these celebrities did with ashwebi for this funeral, you would think that it was one high-class society wedding that they were going for. I saw a lot of celebrity women with their boobs. You are going for somebody's funeral. I know that it's a big party. I know that in Nigeria these days, especially when somebody passes away at old age, it's more of celebration of life, right? But I don't really understand how some celebrities were going out with their full bosoms out in the open. People were showing off and showing out at this funeral, and in my head I began to ask myself, is this still a funeral? Am I missing something here? Like, are you guys sure that this is not an award show or a big wedding or something? Because it was a lot, guys. It was a lot. For a funeral, I feel like it was a whole lot, okay? And might I even add, the one that even scattered my head the most was when Pretty Mike came in. Now, if you guys don't know who Pretty Mike is, Pretty Mike, I don't even know what he does for a living, to be honest. I'm being completely honest here. I don't know what he does for a living. He has perfected the art of grand entrances. So when you invite Pretty Mike to your events, just know that when he comes in, you will know. Everybody knows and everybody takes notes because he comes in more of a bizarre, weird fashion. So he's known for, coming into weddings, with an entourage of women. There was one that he entered one day with like 10 women who were all pregnant, wearing the same thing, and they all came in together with him, all pregnant. There was one that he did that he entered a wedding or something, people dressed as herbalists, native doctors. There was one that he entered with people that they were all chained together. Like, he makes the most bizarre entrances. So at Don Jazzy's mother's funeral, you could be sure that Pretty Mike would make an entrance. He made an entrance with a bunch of women, I'm not sure how many they were, all wearing the most bizarre orange looking outfits. And these orange looking outfits, from the top maybe they looked normal, but from below they had the outline of a man's private parts. All of them were wearing it. Obviously, when they came in, they all came in a single file with those things dangling in between their legs. And I'm just like, are you guys sure that this guy is actually okay? Are you pretty sure that guy, I know that he loves to be in the news. Oh my God. Pretty Mike loves to be in the news more than anything. But my goodness, my actual goodness, that was one for the books. And I was just shook. At a funeral, you still had to do that? Wow. Okay. Also, very recently, President Buhari was left in shock recently, and here is why. So recently, the government conferred the OON award on some citizens of Nigeria. The OON is the Order of the Niger. You know how they give you a chieftaincy title in your village, okay? I feel like that is what the government confers on individuals who have made a mark in the society by doing one thing or the other, right? Once in a while, the government confers the OON award on different individuals, and this year was no different. Two people stood out for me. me during this ceremony. One was Ezra Olubi. Ezra Olubi is the co-founder of Paystack. Paystack is one of the most popular payment gateways here in Nigeria, and it is co-founded by Ezra Olubi. Now, if you don't know who Ezra Olubi is, when you see him, he doesn't look like the kind of person behind something like that. You guys get me? He doesn't look like the kind of person behind such a genius idea. So there was a video going around on social media where Buhari was literally handing his award over to him, and when he realized who he was handing the award over to, he looked at him from head to toe, and even after he took the award and he was going, he shook him and he was going, he was still looking at him like, who is this person?
And then we have Samuel Abuja.
Because Ezra was decked in an all-black ensemble, he had nail polish, he had lipstick on, and Buhari was like, who is this person? It was the most hilarious thing. If I find that video, I'll leave it on the screen so you guys can see, but it was the absolute most hilarious thing ever. I don't think I've seen Buhari in shock like that ever since he became Nigeria's president. I have not seen that happen. Also, popular Nigerian musician Tenny displayed as well. She was also given the OON award, and when she walked up to Buhari to pick her award, all she did was collect the award and walk away. I don't think she shook him. If I find the video, I'll put it on the screen as well for you guys. Tenny.
That's it. Yeah, mama.
She just went there, took her award and walked away, like somebody that would say, I don't want to have anything to do with this government. I don't want to have anything to do with this president. If you guys don't know, if you're watching from outside the country, Nigeria has been in its worst state. Literally since independence, this is the worst Nigeria has been in terms of the economy, in terms of insecurity, corruption, name it. It has been the worst under Buhari's regime. So Tenny was obviously very aggrieved. She just went there, she was like, I beg you, don't be like, say, I'm not gonna collect my award. She went up there, took her award and walked away. She didn't even look at Buhari's face. I don't blame her. I probably would have done the same thing. I don't blame her at all. And then last but not least, Davido and Chioma are getting married next year. Yes, because apparently that's what we are hearing on Instagram, okay? They're getting married next year. If you don't know, Davido and Chioma, Davido is a popular Nigerian musician. Chioma is his babe from like a few years back. They had a son together and broke up for a while, but it's not news that they have reconciled, and they want the whole world to know that they have reconciled, because we are not resting on Instagram for these two people. We are not resting at all. They are having the best time. They are going to church together. They are going to the club together. We are seeing everything. They are going everywhere together, and they want us to see that they are going everywhere together. And I love it. I'm here for it. Okay? I'm here for it. I love it. And also, Davido's friends have not hesitated to show us that they are also back together, because there was an insinuation on Instagram that they are getting married next year. None of them have come out to say that they are actually getting married. It's just an insinuation, and we hope that it actually happens, because I feel like when it comes to Davido, he has found the one in Chioma. I feel like when he's with her, you can see a clear difference. When he was with her during the assurance time, you could see a clear difference. When they broke up, you could see a difference. When they're back together now, you can see a difference. You get my point? So I feel like with regards to Chioma, I feel like he has found the one, and I feel like he should actually settle down with her. You know, that's what I think. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below, okay? All right, guys, so that's all I have for you guys in today's episode of What's New with Alma. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode. If you enjoyed watching, let me know in the comment section. As always, down below, make sure you subscribe, guys. Thank you so much to all those who are subscribing to my channel, all my new subbies. I see you. I love you. Welcome to the family. Okay, please keep subscribing. Keep subscribing, all right? Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah. Bye.